Your garage door won't close? In this video, we'll go through the 5 most common reasons your garage door won't stay closed and exactly what to do about each one. This applies to LiftMaster, Chamberlain, Genie, Craftsman, and most other brands. The number one reason, and it accounts for 60 to 70% of all cases, is a safety sensor issue. Your garage door opener has 2 small sensors mounted near the bottom of the tracks, one on each side. They send an invisible beam across the opening. If that beam is blocked, dirty, or the sensors are out of alignment, the opener will reverse as a safety precaution. Start by checking the indicator lights on both sensors. On most LiftMaster and Chamberlain openers, the sending sensor shows a solid amber light and the receiving sensor shows a solid green light. If either light is blinking or dim, that's your problem. Wipe both lenses with a clean dry cloth, then gently adjust the blinking sensor until both lights go solid. Also worth checking, direct sunlight hitting a sensor lens can scatter the beam and trigger a false reversal. A simple shade or angle adjustment fixes that. The second reason is a close limit that's set too short. Your opener has a setting that tells it how far down to travel before stopping. If this limit is set too short, the opener thinks the door has hit an obstruction before it actually reaches the floor, and it reverses. The key sign here is that the door reverses right at the very end, just before or as it touches the ground. To fix it, look for a dial or adjustment screw on the side of your opener unit labeled down or close. Turn it clockwise in small increments and test the door after each adjustment. Check your owner's manual for the exact procedure since LiftMaster, Chamberlain, and Genie each handle this a little differently. The third reason is force sensitivity set too high. Your opener constantly monitors how much resistance the door meets while it's moving. If the sensitivity is too high, it can mistake normal resistance, from the door's weight, the weather stripping, or stiff parts in cold weather as an obstruction, and it reverses. The key sign is that the door reverses inconsistently, sometimes midway through closing, especially in colder temperatures. Look for a dial labeled force or sensitivity on your opener unit and reduce it slightly. Make small adjustments and test each time. One important note, don't reduce it so much that the door stops reversing when it hits a real obstacle. That safety feature needs to stay active. The fourth reason is a physical obstruction, either in the door's path or in the tracks. This one is easy to overlook because it doesn't take much. Even a leaf, a small pebble, or a tool left on the floor can break the sensor beam or create enough resistance to trigger a reversal. Start by clearing anything within the door's travel area. Then take a look at the tracks on both sides. Dirt and debris build up over time and create friction that the opener reads as resistance. Wipe the tracks out with a damp cloth. If you notice any bent sections in the track, minor bends can sometimes be tapped back into shape, but significant damage should be handled by a professional. The fifth reason is worn or broken springs. The springs on your garage door do the heavy lifting. Literally, they counterbalance the door's weight so the opener motor doesn't have to work too hard. When springs wear out or break, the door becomes much heavier than the opener expects. The motor detects that extra resistance and reverses as a safety response. To check, pull the red emergency release cord to disconnect the opener, then try lifting the door manually. A properly balanced door should stay in place at waist height on its own. If it feels very heavy or falls back down, the springs are the issue. One very important warning, do not attempt to replace garage door springs yourself. They are under extreme tension and can cause serious injury. This one needs a professional. So, to recap, if your garage door won't stay closed, start with the sensors. That fixes the problem 60 to 70% of the time. If the sensors look fine, check the closed limit setting, then the force sensitivity, then look for obstructions in the path or tracks. And if the door feels unusually heavy when you lift it manually, the springs are worn and it's time to call a pro. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and check the description for links to replacement parts mentioned in this video. Thanks for watching.